why I'm so proud to introduce to you the next Vice President of the United States, my fellow lawyer, a brilliant scientist, technologist, a fierce warrior mom, Nicole Shanahan.
That, of course, was Robert F. Kennedy Jr. this afternoon in Oakland announcing Nicole Shanahan as his 2024 running mate. Shanahan is a San Francisco-based attorney and entrepreneur. New polling shows Kennedy in double digits, but still trailing President Biden and Donald Trump. But one factor that could give his candidacy a major boost, getting on the ballot in all 50 states. There you see where he's on the ballot now. Just one lonesome state out there out west, Utah. And this is where the libertarians come in. And the candidate and the party are talking. Okay, panel, how important is it for, obviously he's got to get on the ballot to get elected, but the Libertarian Party has been on the ballot in all 50 states in 5 elections since Reagan was elected in 1980. That would be huge. Yeah. How do you think, from all the libertarians you know, I know all you guys have read The Fountainhead. Oh, yeah. I know I have.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with you, Mick. How do you think they're going to react to this election? And will it help them gain their endorsement?
First of all, there's a bunch of different questions there. I have no idea who this is. I thought it was Sergey Brin's ex-wife. Yes. She was the lady who paid for his Super Bowl ad. She's on the ticket mostly
$4 million worth of ad.
To get money, which is a good reason to take a vice president. No one knows who she is, which is fine. I don't think she's going to be the vice president.
Well, I mean, again, an unconventional choice by an unconventional candidate.
Kennedy,
right? We live in a Joe Rogan world, man.
Kennedy screwed up and just didn't understand ballot access. That's Utah's the easiest state in the country to get on, and he needs to be on the Libertarian now to have any chance, or else his campaign is over.
But he's got to be the nominee first.
Yeah.
And one of the big issues with the Libertarian Party and RFK Jr. is that they are anti-war, and he's all about the Israel-Hamas war. I'm not taking sides on it, but they got to get through that in order for him to be a Libertarian.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences.
But if you're the Libertarian Party,
very fundamental ideological difference.
Exactly.
If you are the Libertarian Party,
I don't think that he is. I actually feel like he's more for peace, because Nicole Shanahan, specifically, the reason she said that she was supporting RFK is because he was the only candidate that was pro-peace. So he's actually more populist in that sense. And I would say there are a lot of rubs. Like, that's the least of his issues, right, with the Libertarian Party. As a recovering Democrat, as I like to call people who get to finally leave the party. Sorry, Kurt. Sorry, Scott.
I haven't left the party
As you get enlightened and you leave the Democratic Party.
And I'm not leaving the party.
You tend to still have those fundamental beliefs that big government is a force for good.
Yeah.
That's a foundational belief of the Democratic Party, and that's literally the opposite of the Libertarian Party, which believes the government should have nothing to do with your life. And I think therein lies the rub.
So RFK Jr. said Palestinians are pampered. He's foursquare behind the Israelis in this war. And he's also an environmentalist, and libertarians are not exactly big government environmentalists, Kurt.
Well, there's also an environmentalist who's gotten money from big oil. So, I mean, Bobby is a walking contradiction in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
If you actually look at the trajectory of his career and his, I guess we'll call them beliefs, I think at the end of the day, listen, cash is king. He got someone on the ticket who's got a lot of cash.
Yeah.
Cash is what it takes to build a campaign infrastructure. Cash is what it takes to get the signatures required in states to get on ballot. Maybe a cash infusion to the Libertarian Party may be coming their way if that's what it takes to get them on their ticket. Like, I would not put anything past Bobby, and I think the number one reason why he made this choice clearly was because of the checkbook.
But that doesn't equate to votes, though.
Right? Let me come back to that.
He's not in it to win it. Like, he doesn't care about it.
He's in it to spoil it.
Guys, put up that full screen of where the Libertarian Party, where they're on the ballot now. I think they're on the ballot in 36 states. They expect to get on the ballot. I mean, that's a big deal. When Cornel West was flirting with the Green Party, Democrats were having a heart attack.
Well, let's be clear.
He would have been on the ballot in all 50 states.
The only thing that he cares about, really, is being on the ballot in Arizona, Wisconsin, Florida.
Oh, you think he's in it to be a spoiler?
Pennsylvania. Absolutely. I mean, you look at who's funding him. Trump donors are funding him.
Exactly.
I wonder why that might be.
And he's an anti-vaxxer, which means he's going to pull more from the Republicans than Democrats. Not many anti-vaxxers with Democrats.
I want to hear.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.